Okay, hello friends all over the world. I welcome you to this very unique edition at Maximum Impact Studio, Nigeria at 65, the way forward. My name is Evangelist Jude Asogwa, the convener, Christian volunteer for Better Nigeria. And of course, some of you who know, you know very well that I have a very good friend, 5 and 6, 5 and 7, In fact, Brother Evangelist Timothy Ofoegbu is a man that has multi-dimension in terms of politics, religion, academics. Is a versatile. If you want to see an embodiment of ideas or multiple ideas loaded in one person, you are talking about Evangelist Timothy Ofoegbu. So today we decided to put heads together and look at Nigeria as 65, looking at it from the political dimension, economic dimension, social, cultural dimension, the security dimension, and then even the religious dimension of Nigeria at 67. My brother Timothy Ofoegbu, you're welcome. What do you think?
Now, the truth is that I wish all Nigerians happy independence. Those in Nigeria that still have faith in Nigeria, and those in diaspora that still have faith in Nigeria and lost faith in Nigeria, and those that are still in Nigeria that lost faith in Nigeria, all of us are Nigerians. So we have no other country except Nigeria, no place like home. And together we'll join hands to make Nigeria great again.
No place like home indeed. All right. Yes, 65 years ago, Nigeria got her independence, and we had the ceremonial president of Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and we had Tafawa Balewa as the first prime minister of Nigeria. And then looking back 65 years, sometimes when I hear people say that the colonial masters are the problem of Nigeria, sometimes I seem to disagree. Why do I disagree with them? Looking at Nigeria 65 years ago, the first 3, 4, 5 years in Nigeria, I'll tell you that Nigeria was set to become one of the best countries in the world in terms of, you can imagine the developmental state of the world as at that time. The rail system was working, the telephone system available at that time was working, and the system, there was peaceful coexistence. There was no such thing as the kind of insecurity we have today, So, and when you look at it after 65 years, the question is, do we still have colonial masters as our problem today? Or are we each other's problem? My brother Timothy Ofoegbu, let's look at this independence and post-independence life of Nigeria before we go to where we are today.
Yeah, thank you, Evangelist Jude. John F. Kennedy, the late president of America, said, ask for what you can do for your country, not what your country will do for you. Our patriarchs, our fathers, our nationalists, the likes of Awolowo, Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, Okotiebo, and the famous Ahmad Bello, they were servant, selfless leaders who wanted to move a nation forward, not to loot the economy for generations unborn. That's why when you go to Kaduna now, you can't see any business you will point and say it belongs to the family of Ahmad Bello. If you go to Bauchi, you won't see anything that will point to Tafawa Balewa. In fact, the mausoleum or the grave of Azikiwe was completed almost 20 years after his death.
Yeah, that's
meaning
correct.
that his sons don't have money.
Yeah,
if they have money, they would have done it by themselves and waiting for government to do it. Same can be said of Michael Okpara, Mazimbono Ojike, Alvani Koku, and others. So what has happened so far is that the leadership style and the leaders changed. The coming of soldiers into our politics is the most unfortunate thing that happened to Africa. Soldiers are not meant to lead. They are meant to be in barracks and called upon when there are internal crises
the nation,
or when they have to defend the nation externally. But they are in caution, endless queues, endless suspicion. So these things scared so many politicians away, in my own opinion, political leaders thinking that they won't stay far before another queue will happen. And what happened during IBB transition proved them right. Because, in fact, he dribbled so much that they even have to name him Maradona. He banned, imagine somebody coming up and say, I'm banning people because they are older. I mean, the people he banned were 55, 58, and 56, highest 60. Today we have, how old was our last president? How old is the current president? And those who want to contest in 2027. So I answer this thing, we don't have to blame anybody. No colonial master, no external power. What is happening in Nigeria today that put us where we are is corruption by the leaders, corruption by those in the civil service, and inability of Nigerians to hold their leaders accountable. That is why we are where we are now.
Yeah, that's correct. I think just like Evangelist Timothy Ofoegbu, you know that together in 2023, we came together as conveners and co-convener of Christian Volunteer for Better Nigeria. We tried to see how to move this country forward. Now, using today, our Independent Day celebration, we are casting our mind back and then taking it from there in order to be able to forecast into the future to see what will become of this nation, this great nation called Nigeria. Now, just like he said, no one to blame. Well, barely 6 years after independence, Nigeria was plunged into war. The Nigerian Biafra War that lasted between 1967 and 1970, that is said to have claimed millions of lives of children, youths, and adults, several millions of people. You know, some figures put it at 2 million, some put it at 3 million. You know, but what is important is that people died, that we lost everything. But be that as it may, today Nigeria is still one because the war ended at no victor, no vanquished. Was there really a victor? The answer is yes. Was there really a vanquished? Well, the answer may be yes, though it is a point of controversy, because the agitators of Biafra today believe that they were vanquished and that basic amenities were never returned to them, and that's why they are struggling today to still reenact Biafra. So today is still Biafra. Can we still be saying that those who are agitating for Biafra or Duduwa Republic or Arewa Republic, can they be said to be correct? Are they really, is that what will save Nigeria? What's your opinion, Evangelist?
Well, people have the right under the Constitution for expression to agitate whatever they like. But when you look at it critically, I think if we have channeled that image, how to make the states to work, how to improve the security, how to develop a region, and more especially, how to raise quality servant leaders. Because you can change a name, you can't change the people.
Yeah.
So answering Biafra, Alibo, Owanyangu, Igodomingodo, or any other thing they are saying may not really be the issue. The issue is that how much has Anambra State received since 1999? Was Governor Mbadunuju held accountable? Was Governor Obiano held accountable? Do we really need EFCC to tell us how the money is spent? And you begin to ask yourself again, Imo State, Abia State, Delta State, and all these states that are
Enugu State.
into Enugu State,
State.
where did all the money go to?
Exactly.
Because they can close their eyes and they will keep on blaming the center. Nothing much is happening in the center now. The states are receiving trillions and nobody is talking. Well,
No, I don't know how true that a former governor of Abia State was even sentenced to death for diverting over 1 trillion naira. I read it on the news. I don't know whether you are confirming that.
yeah, anything
Yeah.
I see online,
Yeah.
I'm holding it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
If the traditional media like Arise, channels, the Guardian newspaper and the Vanguard did not carry it, I don't believe it, because these are days of propaganda.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
people can rise up and write anything.
anything.
But what I'm trying to say is that, please, our brothers who are looking for another nation within a nation, as you hope and agitate, let us make the one we have
To work.
viable, make
Viable.
it to work. Let there be security of lives and property, which now have shown that it is not only government that can do it. I think every state in this country is trying to leverage on civilian helping in securing the place. Before government came with police, army and all this thing, we have Ndinshe in Igbo land. We have local vigilante. And there is no way a foreigner, maybe a Fulani or Hausa, will enter Igbo land with arms, mobilize and begin to kill people without the locals knowing.
That's correct.
So
That's correct.
if you see something, if you know something, help to secure your land. There are criminal elements who have now, leverage on the name Biafra in Igbo land.
Exactly.
To become unknown gunmen, to become bandits, to become what we call now local terrorists. So we should be careful about these things and fish them out and secure the land so that Igbos in diaspora that are outside the Igbo land and outside Nigeria, we have the confidence to bring development
Back
into
home.
the states in Igbo land, back home, what we call Akuluno. Do you know I've attended funeral reception here at Abuja? Somebody that died, they are from Nnewi South, and some boys came to them and said, to bury your father, you pay us 70 million.
Yeah.
They negotiated till 50, they refused. They buried their father by night on Thursday and did the reception here at Abuja on Saturday for their father and did outing at a Catholic church on Sunday. So the thing is getting out of hand. We are not talking about traditional marriages. Ibanku, it is no more being held at Igbo land. Most of them are in Lagos, in Ilori, in Abuja, in Atlanta, in everywhere. So our place is becoming desolate and it's worrying me. But I think with some strides some state governments are making now and some individuals who are reclaiming their land, if you ask me, let's make the Igbo states to work. If our places like Dubai, like Malaysia, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, we will be looking for another name to give to the place.
Yeah. Just like about 6 years ago, I traveled to the eastern part of the country and I had this friend of mine who drove me. And then there was this issue of unknown gunmen killing police, okay, about four years ago. And then I was telling him, I said, this is going to be a monster. They are targeting police and you are happy.
And the army.
And the army, and you are very happy. I say, it's going to be a monster that will turn back to chase everybody. As I speak to you today, that my friend's family is outside the country. Because he can't just take it any longer.
Now talking about outside the country, some Igbos within the outside shores, living outside Nigeria, especially those in Europe, America, and Canada, highly misunderstood the concept of freedom.
Yeah.
So now, even when you hear that they created maybe governments in exile, you notice all of them did it in Europe.
Yes, that's correct.
So they have not really come back home or did a research and notice what is going on. And somebody is saying, I don't have the evidence that they might even be the people funding them and giving them moral support. Because they would not say, look at how Europe works, look at how America is working, look at how Canada, look at how Finland is working, Igbo land is not like that. Let there be this, let there be that. and not knowing that some of the people on ground that are shouting these things may also be doing it for their own selfish motives.
Exactly.
So that is
it's about the interest.
It's
and
about
then,
interest.
While we speak about Igbo land, the same thing happens to the Ariwa, the northern part of Nigeria, or the western part of Nigeria, that are being daily invaded by killer herdsmen, and then life of people being threatened, an entire community being sacked.
That of Arewa is very unfortunate. Yeah. I grew up in the north, you grew up in the north.
And we are still
you grew up in Zaria.
Yeah.
I grew up in Maiduguri, we're in Abuja. I said, to stop it in the north is very easy. But the northern elites, the northern religious leaders, the northern political leaders, just like that of their counterparts in the Igbo land, don't want to tell themselves the truth.
The truth. Of course. This
you now begin to tell us and say, oh, bandits are discouraged, they are depressed. You know, let's have meeting with them.
And confer them with chieftaincy titles.
No, let's just meet them, console them, give them 1 billion so that they will stop attacking us. Let's bring an Islamic cleric to pray for them. You know, they will be okay.
Yeah.
I said, you don't keep a python or a cobra with a baby and say the cobra will look after the baby.
Exactly.
You don't keep yam and the goat.
Ask goats to
and
take
begin
care
to
of
massage the ego of goat and say, oh, don't keep the yam. And we are talking about
holy goat.
We are talking about where evil have reached the epics, where local government are being taken, where people will come into mosque and kill worshippers.
Yes.
Where wives are abducted, daughters were taken by force, school children are being taken by force, and all you can tell us is that you can meet with them, you can negotiate with them, you can pacify them, you can read passages of Quran and Bible to them, and their sins will be forgiven. I have never seen anything like that in my life.
Of course, I think that's the major reason we think that to take security issues serious in Nigeria should be one of the things that the government should focus in Nigeria at 65.
The first step is state police.
State policing.
Now, I gave an example when I was interviewed at Love FM. I said to them, I'm from Anambra State. Now, assuming I'm a police officer, you take me to be the commissioner of police in Zamfara. By the way, my outside is broken. It's not complete. I'm not a Muslim. I don't know the geography and typography of Zamfara. By the way, I know there is Talata Mafara. I know there is Kaura Namoda. I know there is Anki. I know there is Diach. I know there is Guzo, their major town. But it stops there. So when crime is happening at Talata Mafara or Kaura Namoda or Anki or Dashi, what do? I need to call some of my subordinates and no more the commissioner for them to tell me what to do. And who knows who is a rogue among them, planted by the bandits and the insurgents.
Of course.
They will release the information to them.
It's usually sabotage.
But let me give you an example. You now take me as a police commissioner to Anambra State, and it's a state police. I'm from Anambra. God forbid, there's a bank at Ekulobia, at the center of Ekulobia. You tell me now that armed men are inside the bank. They have surrounded it. They call and say, Commissioner, what do I do? Very simple. Block Oko Road.
Yes.
Block Ibuku Road. Block Nanka Road. Block Oga. I have circled them. Because I know the place.
Exactly.
I say, my men, please, some of you from Unne, we mobilize. Come closer to Ibuku. Come closer to Ikenga. Those of you at Oka, come closer to Nanka. Those of you that are at Omunze, come closer to where? To Oko. Those of you that are at Oga, begin to move toward it. But how will they escape? Because this is where I was born. This is a place I know. So when we talk about state police, so many things can happen. A police commissioner, superintendent, ASP, or whoever that is investigator can dress in Igbo Isiago, come to beer parlor, declare surplus, they'll be eating and drinking, he'll be gathering information.
That's correct.
He speaks their language is one of them. But this one, you will bring one Muhammadu to Anambra that doesn't speak Igbo. He doesn't know anywhere beyond Oka. You will take Kalu from Abia to Zamfara. He has never been to Zamfara in his life. They say state governors will abuse it.
So, of course, even with the central police system, state governors still do abuse it. But like Comrade Evangelist Timothy Ofoegbu put it, local policing will be one of the solutions to the escalating insecurity in our country. Okay, let's move forward. We are looking at also Nigeria at 65 from the perception of social, religious, social, cultural, and religious dimension. Well, if Nigeria is going to move forward, we are going to overcome, we should be able to overcome tribalism, ethnicity, and cultural difference, you know, that has split Nigeria. America has about 50-something states, right? Now, with multicultural citizens, Spanish Americans, Jewish Americans, Latin Americans, African Americans, and then the Aborigines,
Asian Americans,
you know, Chinese Americans. Now, but once you mention America, it comes first. Before tribes, America is first. So Nigeria need to, at 65, begin to migrate beyond tribalism, sectionalism, and ethnicity. So what is your opinion on this?
I think the Nigerian citizens, most of us are cowards. We allow politicians and religious leaders to use us against one another. Like you grew up in Zaria, I grew up in Maiduguri. I used to tell people I used to be a Kanuri man and now a Gbagi man. Because
that's correct.
I'm in Abuja, I speak Igbo.
Yeah.
So when we were growing up,
I tell them I'm a Danzaria.
When I was growing up in Maiduguri, I never knew somebody can wake up and kill another person because of religion. Or somebody can discriminate. In fact, you met my friend Baba Ganaba. May God rest his soul. Aisha, Buloma, Ngoshia, most of them. And we were like brothers and sisters. But suddenly, these politicians will now begin to say, oh, that's all Igbo.
Yes.
That's all more Yoruba. Yes. That's our shop.
Nyamiri.
That's in Nyamiri.
Yes.
That is Aboki. That is Hausa goat. And you begin now to have this mess.
Yeah.
Yes, we can't deny it. Changing our national anthem has not solved it.
It cannot.
Tribe and tongue may differ in brotherhood ways. This is not song. Even the leaders singing it, they don't take it serious.
They don't take it serious.
They are the people finding the embers of tribalism.
Exactly.
So, just as you said, let's use this Independence Day. A man, a woman that is 65 is now an elder. It's an institution.
And my wife was telling somebody today that very soon Nigeria will begin to work using walking stick.
Exactly.
By age, and that's correct.
So by now we're supposed to be mentoring younger generation.
Yes.
In Rwanda, if you are filling the form, you don't mention your tribe, you don't mention your religion.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, they will even ask you to mention your village, your local government, your religion, your state, so that they will tear your form and bring someone from their state. Even civil service, you will hear now today, an emir, an oba, an igwe, somebody will just write a note and they will employ somebody through the back door just because you are not from a particular tribe. It's very unfortunate.
Someone once during one of these recruitments had to go for interview and spent several hours running around the state capital as required. And then she came back so tired and had to be admitted.
Immigration.
I think it's immigration. I don't want to mention it.
But why are you hiding? But they hired a stadiums all over Nigeria.
But then, when she came back, she noticed few months later that a friend who did not go for the interview has been employed. That's Nigeria for you. Well, can we begin to look at Nigeria's economy at 65? Nigeria today is known as one of the 7th one of the 7 largest oil producers in the world. Our economy is grossly centered on oil. But we are blessed. I wrote one of these my books on Say No to Suicide Mission after meeting some Nigerians in L'Aquila, Italy, who had to go through the Mediterranean Sea in search for greener pasture. When I came back, I met some of them going psychiatrically wrong. Some needed rehabilitation. Some were regretting. Some were impregnated. Some, and they were like, this is not what we were told about Europe. So when I came back, I began to look at how rich Nigeria is. Nigeria is one country that nearly every state in Nigeria is blessed with one mineral resources or the other.
Oh, natural.
Nigeria, natural resources, mineral resources, potentials. Nigeria is rich in culture, rich in potential, rich in IQ. In fact, all over the world. If there's anything happening anywhere in the world, look critically and see where a Nigerian is involved. Because we are generous, we are blessed. Now, how do we translate our resources, potential resources, mineral resources, skills, numeric strength as the giant of Africa? How do we translate this to an economic development of this country, Nigeria? Timothy Ofoegbu, what's your view?
Now, number one, let me say this is that we have leaders, once again, that most of them are naturally wicked. The only natural disaster in Nigeria is the leadership. Let me explain. The first thing they do is to put the wrong peg in the right hole.
The wrong peg in the right hole.
They will make sure that the wrong person that will galvanize this economy you are talking and take both Nigeria and the states and the local government to a higher height will never be there. Some of our leaders are thugs. Some are touts. Some are terrorists. Some are terrible, horrible members, and they call them honorable members. They are horrible members.
Dishonorable members.
Dishonorable. Because I haven't seen where patriotism is not at work except in this country, where people deliberately hate their nation and hate people they are leading. Let me give you an example. All the natural resources you mentioned, number one is crude oil. How are you telling me that the 4 refineries is the days of Obasanjo cannot work? And before our own eyes, somebody built the 4th biggest refinery in the world within 3 years.
Within 3 years.
We are not talking about repairing old one.
Yeah.
So which means that leaders deliberately
sabotage
that refinery so that their wives, their girlfriends, their side chicks, their wrong girls, their cronies, and their family members will be importing the same oil we have that is refined. If it's rumors, some of them even have refineries outside Nigeria.
That's correct.
They control the shipping, they control the tank farm, and that is where we are. So they make sure. Have I told you what I said in that Love FM? They destroy the refineries so that they will start importing fuel. They destroy the public universities they went to.
Yes.
State and public university they went to. I'm talking about Nigerian leaders. So that they will build their own private universities.
Yeah.
They destroy the hospitals where they were born. Public hospitals.
Raised up.
University teaching hospital. They destroy it so that their own private hospitals will come up. And they will go in alliance with some Asian hospitals in India.
That's correct.
They destroy the primary school where they went to so that their family members will build private primary and secondary school. So we have devourers and destroyers leading us
at the helm of
no idea about leadership. Yeah. And that's why someone like me keeps saying that the only way for our economy to come out is for us to elect the right people. Every eye is on presidency. No. Governorship, National Assembly. The only news in National Assembly this year is that a woman accused one of the leaders of sexual harassment. That is what they were upon. Okay, the tax reform, let me give that to them. Then what else? can you see how in America, in UK, how the parliament and the Congress and the Senate, how they scrutinize the leaders, how they scrutinize the security officers? Every of them know everything that is happening. Our own is contract.
Yes.
Contract.
Right.
Consultancy project. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that for Nigeria to move out of economic wood, government is for people who are honest, who are not corrupt, who knows the roadmap to solution. Let me shock you. I listened to the president's speech this morning when he said, we are giving 25,000 naira to 75 million household, whatever, to put them out of poverty, and the whole money total 330 billion. I bow down my head. The president might not even have good economic advisors. Just let me ask you, how can a normal person give a Nigerian 25,000? 25,000 to a family of 6, man, wife, and 4 children.
That cannot take care of my last born.
Those into polygamy,
yes,
that have 2 or 3 or 4 wives,
yes,
or those that by their choice have 7 or 8 children.
Yes.
Imagine giving me 25,000. That 25,000 may not, no matter how frugal I am, that 25,000 will not last 3 days.
3 days
it's
breakfast
gone
in my house.
So, Mr. President, sir, and those advising you, you are wrong. You don't give out what we call handout to citizens.
Yes.
Let the electricity be steady. We will find our ground.
Yes.
Let there be security. We will find our ground. But if you truly want to share 330 billion, I did the arithmetic for you so that you don't repeat it next year. When you divide it by 36 states, you will have 9 billion, 100 million ish. Yeah. Why not use it to build industries in 36 states? 9 billion.
Will employ thousands.
That will employ thousands and have value 20 years. So that they will be having multiples of this 25,000 every month.
Every month.
Not just eating it once. So who are the people advising you?
Exactly.
Mr. President, who are the people advising you? What is a simple mathematics? You can't tell me you give a mature man like me, a family man, you give him 25,000 and it's something you are telling us on your independence speech. It's not good. Build industries and let that industry be managed by the state, the local government, the traditional ruler, and some civil society so that it will not collapse. Okay, let's do this arithmetic. Let's say that each of the industry that 2,000 people are employed there.
Exactly.
Multiply it again with 36 and see the number.
Exactly.
The same industry, people will bring raw materials, people will take finished materials.
Exactly.
People will be electricians there, people will be sweepers, people will be drivers, there will be cook. They will be the environment or the area where it's built, things will begin to happen.
Exactly.
Other smaller factories that we feed in will spring up. That is how a nation is developed. Not giving them the other times during the time of Buhari. I saw the vice president at Otako Market. People gather. I also peeped. And he called one man and said, on behalf of federal government of Nigeria, we are giving you 8,000.
10,000. I think it was
10,000. 10,000 they buy not tax and consultancy fee. What they actually gave the man was 8,000.
8,000. Just imagine.
A married man with 4 children, you gave him 8,000 naira and say you have pulled him out of poverty. Stop joking with our emotions.
Well, this advice, like my friend and brother had just said, goes to Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You need to reconstitute your economic team.
Let it have human face.
Let it have human face and not 2027 in mind. Exactly. Have in mind that you are elected between this period and 2027 to salvage the nation and not use this 4 years to simply raise stooge for the next 4 years. That is for the president. Having said so, want to drop a word for youth of Nigeria. With the state of the economy today, thriving and moving into scams, thuggery, robbery, and shortcuts to wealth creation has become the order of the day. Now, the truth remains that you need to sow and lay a good foundation for your economy, and don't let anybody use it today. And know that if Nigeria is 67, Nigeria was once 1. If you are 20 today, you'll be getting to 67 someday. And so you have to lay good foundation, economic foundation, education foundation, and don't become a stooge in the hand of anybody. Now, let's take the last topic, which has to do with the politics. You know, you talked about electing the right candidates. Here is 2027 at the corner. Some years back, we without minding where tribe or language, we were carried away by how to make Nigeria work. And obviously, there is what we call what we ordered versus what we got. Here we are today. Now, the next 2 years, 2027 is around the corner. Parties have started aligning. The ruling party, APC, is consolidating. Opposition is aligning in order to upstage the incumbent party and incumbent government. Having said so, the polity is going to be heated up in the next 3 months. Once we state our feet into 2026, the polity will be heated up. Now, are we progressing or retrogressing? Do we think that there is something we are taking in, or do we really have hope of one free and fair election? Do we really have hope that what we order for will be what we will get in that election? Because many Nigerians today are, as I speak to you, if you put an election today, 60% of Nigerians will not cast their vote because of bias, because of previous apathy. Voter apathy will come in because of previous experience. So, what is going to be your counsel and advice to Nigeria and Nigerians for or towards 2027 election?
Well, the truth is that we are in a very big political, stagnation. When I look at the model of politics in Nigeria, I don't know whether to weep or whether to cry. I don't even know the difference between the two. But it's all something to smile and laugh about. Let me explain. It's only in Nigeria you suddenly hear that an elected governor on a platform of a political party crossed over to a ruling party for political convenience.
Yeah.
I keep on saying, why? Have we seen it in America? Have we seen it in Britain? Anywhere in the world? Excuse me. It's only in Nigeria you see it because of greed, because of protecting my seat, or who knows whether they are threatened. Are they being blackmailed? Because we're hearing governor by my cross-pack.
Yeah, I don't think there's any form of intimidation. If you ask me, I'll just tell you, it's the ambition, the selfish ambition of our leaders today.
Now, a political party will campaign, make you a senator, and you japa to another party.
Yes.
Zigzag. Now, the opposition is weak in voicing out. The other time, they even captured Pato Tommy, took him to court and said that he's having a shadow government, which is just on paper, done everywhere. But what I'm trying to say is that the political future in Nigeria will change under 3 things. Number 1, INEC must be reformed.
Reformation of INEC. That's correct.
Unbundling even.
Unbundling.
Remember what Stalin of Russia said, the problem is not with those that cast the vote, the problem is with those that count and record the votes. And then
not those that cast the vote, but those that count
and record
so
the vote.
INEC, you are responsible.
We are still surprised with some of the magic that happened in 2023 in some states.
Yes, that's
magic.
Correct.
When you tell us that India, that 800 million people cast their votes and there was no one single litigation. And in Nigeria, about 30 million cast their vote. Every position that was vying for ended up in court. Now, it is court that is producing presidents and governors and senators and reps, not the people.
Yes.
So it will be government of the people, by the court, and for the people.
Yeah.
It's all about democracy. So what is Supreme Court doing every year? So every governor seat was determined by Supreme Court. Presidency every year by Supreme Court. Local government, everything. Because even the politicians don't trust the system. If they trust the system, they would have said, okay, they defeated me.
Yes.
There will be no litigation.
Exactly.
For them to go to court means that they don't even trust the system. So reform it. INEC is too big to be given to a university vice chancellor or lecturer who have not seen maybe 15 million together in his life.
Yes.
To manage 450 billion budget and manage that kind of resources. And we in the Christian Volunteers
for Better Nigeria
said it in a press conference that the best thing to do is to unbundle INEC, the logistics where their interest is, who print, the ballot, who go to China to bring the overcoat, who win the contract for transporting the ballot buses, give it to a special company, maybe DHL, FedEx, and others. Give it to them. You monitor them through DSS. The administration will be there, and the main work will be there. I heard that the president have nominated a new INEC